Hello there, and welcome back to Building the Boys. I'd say it's an unusual one. It's not the norm, so it's not model building today as such. But today is International Men's Day, 2023, November the 19th. I want to talk about it. And I'll tell you why I want to talk about it, because no one else is. So you'd be forgiven for not knowing today was International Men's Day, because I haven't seen anything about it. Have you seen anything about it? Because I haven't. It hasn't really appeared on the news. There's not really been anything on talk shows. And it's part of International Men's Health Month. So November is Men's Health Month, Mental Health Month, and Physical Health Month as well. Have you heard anything about it? No. So much so, my son, I'm very proud of him for doing this, is writing an email to his school to ask why. He wants to know why Men's Health Month and why Men's Day hasn't been mentioned at school. Because he does have a lot of awareness months put upon him. So examples of this are Black History Month was last month. They had LGBTQIA Pride Month. They had Environmental Month. They had Women's Month. So all of these were very much heavily emphasized to them, but no mention at all of Men's Month, International Men's Health Month. None at all. Which sort of brings me on to part of the problem. It's bad. It's bad. It is that this is kind of neglected, overlooked, and that's part of the problem. That's why this is important, because men are somewhat neglected and overlooked when it comes to health and mental health. They are. Now, I'm sure there are probably some women rolling their eyes at hearing me say that, but it's true. It's true. There's a reason why suicide is the number one killer of men under the age of 45. That's the number one, which is a disgusting, horrifying statistic. Over 45, it's not that suddenly plummets. It's not like at 45 everyone suddenly gets happy. It just drops to number 2, because it just means that heart attacks take over, heart disease takes over. And guess what causes heart attacks and heart disease? Stress. And guess what stress is caused by? Depression. And guess what depression leads to? Suicide. So this is a concern. It's a massive concern. This week particularly, I mean, just again to give you an example of how little a shit is being given about Men's Health Month, is this week is also the brand new this year Trans Awareness Week. And that ends today. So Trans Awareness Week actually lands on International Men's Day. Now, I have absolutely zero issue with trans. Live your life however you want to live it, genuinely. It's be happy, just whatever. There's enough ugliness in the world. If you want to be happy, doing whatever you want to do, be happy. But why this week? Why this month, when it could have been any other month of the year? And it's because I would imagine when this was arranged, people were like, oh well, and didn't even check into it. And that bothers me. That bothers me a lot. It bothers me a hell of a lot. It's not right. It's not right. So it's understandable when men are sort of saying, well, I'm stressed because I've got no one to talk to, and when I do talk, no one listens. This is a beautiful example of that. It really is. So what I need you to do is I need you to talk amongst yourselves. And by that, I mean, if you are healthy, well-adjusted, you're not dealing with any stress or anything at the moment, check in on a buddy. Doesn't matter which buddy, check in on a buddy. And no matter how well you think he might be doing, ask him how he is. How are you, man? And see what he says. And then ask him again, yeah, but how are you really? And if you have to ask him a third time, but how are you really? And you tend to get them open up a bit more, because it shows you actually care. It's not just the weird sort of British way of saying hello that we do. How are you? We were never expecting an answer. We're just expecting them, all right, how are you? And that's it. But that's not good. We need to talk more openly with each other about these things. So if you've got a buddy you haven't connected with in a while, or there's someone that you may be having concerns about, or you think, oh, he's having a bit of a hard time, check in with him and just say, how are you, mate? How's things? Even if it's someone you haven't connected with a long time, and this is that weird kind of social etiquette where people think, oh, I haven't spoken to him in years. Still bet he'd love to hear from you. I still bet he'd love to hear from you. And if they don't, they don't. But I mean, you can ask them, how are you, man? It's been a while. You good? And that's all it takes. And if you yourself are struggling, still reach out to someone. Reach out to someone and say, how are you? And if they say, yeah, no, I'm fine. And they say, how are you? Say, no, I ain't doing great. And have a conversation. But having a conversation is important because it appears no one else is listening to us. That's just the reality of this. And it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And part of this is, I mean, in recent times particularly, and this is why I'm very conscious of this, as being the father of two young men, I'm very, very conscious of this. Anybody that looks like me is kind of the devil. I mean, we're at fault for every problem in the world at the moment. Is blamed on kind of heterosexual white males. It just is. I don't agree with that, and I know not everybody feels that way. But I understand. And I mean, we're not indelible. We're really not. I mean, the sins of the past, are unforgivable, but they are exactly that, the sins of the past. It wasn't me, and it's a funny one for me when I hear misogyny gets thrown around quite a lot, and accusations of sexism and block it. Not at all. I'm a man raised by a woman. That's it. So I was part of a single parent family from the age of 4 years old, and I was surrounded by single mothers because they gathered together. I've got some very funny stories about the times we were raised by them, but they were a unit. So these were single mothers that supported each other through bad times, because times were very different then. I mean, now where you have a universal credit system and things like that, times are still hard. Back then, my God, there was none of that. It was tough. It was really tough. And a lot of kids grew up with very little. But God bless those women. All of these women really did everything they could for their kids and provided. And I'm a man raised by women, so I'm very conscious of that. So I've never been misogynistic. I've never put women down. I've never thought women were less, because I've seen some of the strongest women you could ever imagine to see do everything from DIY to getting jobs to taking care of the kids to stepping up and playing the father role. I've seen that firsthand. So no, I've never had that misconception that a woman's place is in the home or anything like that. That's not me. Never has been. But I've had those accusations thrown at me on generalizations where I'm like, well, that's just not true. That's not me at all. Which is horrible. But it seems to be that we are now the category where you can say whatever you want about, and it's okay. And it isn't. So I'm conscious. I'm raising two good men. That's what I'm doing. I'm instilling values in them, and this is the way it is. So I'll be damned if anyone's going to tell them that their original sin, if you will, for being who they are. That's nonsense. And you might think, oh my God, where's all this coming from? This goes through the minds of a lot of men, a hell of a lot of men, and this is it. They're being told all the time, you're shit. And it's not good. That's part of the problem. And you can say, well, I don't think that's going on. Of course it is. That is why a generation of young men are taking their own lives at a rate of knots. And it is not okay. It's bad. It's very, very bad. And we other people can do something about it. You need to support each other. That's what you need to do. And you need to talk. So if you yourself are not doing great, tell someone, for God's sake, tell somebody. Because it's not going to get better on its own. It will get better, but on its own, it's not going to get better. This too shall pass. So whatever you're going through right now is temporary. No matter how permanent it feels, if you are going through it right now, it's temporary. And remember that for the future. When you're going through something, the only thing you can really control in a lot of situations is how you react to it. So there are situations that are completely out of your control and there's nothing you can do about them. But what you can do is you can control how you react to it. Okay, this is the situation that we've got. I can get angry about it. I can get bitter about it. I can get nasty about it. I can get negative about it. I can get down about it. Or I can look at it logically. I can take a breath and I can think, right, what's actually going on here? And how do we come out of this well? Take that time and see what you can do, no matter what it is, be it money problems, be it work problems, be it relationship problems, whatever it is. There are always positive solutions to very negative problems. And I'm guilty of it myself. I mean, about 10 years ago, I was going through it badly, really badly. And I was falling apart. And it was impossible for me to see the positive in anything. Everywhere I looked, I saw doom and gloom. That's all I saw. I saw the negative in everybody, and I saw the negative in everything. Always. It's just what I saw. I assumed the worst, always. And it's not a good way to live. It just isn't, because if you look for the negative, you'll find it. You'll find it every time. It's hard to look for the positive. It's hard to be upbeat. It's really hard. It's easy to be cynical. Being cynical, sarcastic, a bit of a dick, negative is really, really easy. It's really easy. which is why I think a lot of us get comfortable in doing it, because you're thinking, well, this is simple. I can just go, whatever. Because it's hard, to sort of go somewhere. It's not exactly where you want it to be. You go to a party and it's not as great as you thought it was going to be. But you can be the change, You can be like, right, okay, well, let's pep this up. Or you can just go, well, this sucks. I knew this was going to be bad, and, sulk about it. Or you can look for the positives in it. And it's hard. It's really hard. I mean, I try and remain as positive as possible in everything I do, including these videos. Even this one, where I'm talking to you about something incredibly negative, I'm trying to think, I need to keep this upbeat. Because you do, and it's tough. It's really tough. I have a negative demeanor by default. So for me to fight and be positive is tough. It's really tough. Work can get you down. But you got to leave it at work. That's the problem. When work gets you down, leave it at work. Don't take it home with you, If home life is hard, don't take it to work with you. It's rough. I know it is. And I know these are easier said than done, but they can be done. And there are a world of talking therapies out there, which are very good. I was contacted by a viewer of the channel, a lady, Tea Time Builds, you know who you are. And she's very kindly given me the numbers and contact details for multiple talking therapies, phone numbers. You can call whatever country you're in. We're pretty much covered here, and this is all thanks to Tea Time Builds. So thank you very much for that. They are all posted in the link down below. So you can go and look at those. And if you need to talk to somebody, you can. And it might seem weird if you've never done it, but trust me, you will feel a hell of a lot better. It feels like weights being lifted from your shoulders when you can finally talk and dump this out. And I will never, ever give up encouraging people to talk. If you want to talk to me, you can. You can email me at buildingtheboys@outlook.com and I'll talk to you as well. And it doesn't have to be about anything. It doesn't have to be about, I'm not doing very well at the moment, Scott, can you? It doesn't have to be like that. We can just talk. We can just talk, because sometimes that helps as well. And as I've spoken about, I'm trying to start a modelling group for my local area for men, where the idea of being is we all meet up and just build a model. If somebody wants to talk about how they're doing, then we can. If somebody just wants a distraction, they can have that as well. Because this is what I've always found when I've helped friends in the past, and also what helped me, is sometimes might not be ready to confront it all, but you just want a break of it being on your mind all the time. So it's nice to have that distraction, to be able to go and sit with people and just do something, keep your mind occupied, so you're not dwelling on things. You can leave the house is bloody important. You can leave the house. You can socialise with other people. And I know when you've got that kind of depression on you, leaving the house is like, what's the point? I know, because I've lived it. But now I do the opposite. So I will ask people at random, people I haven't seen in a while, do you want to come to the movies? And they'll be like, oh, who's this guy asked me to the movies? I'm like, do you want to come see a movie? There's a movie on, it looks good. I want to go. I think you might like it. Do you want to come? And I ask people to go to the movies. It's weird, but a lot of people take me up on the offer. Or I'll say, you want to go get a drink? And they'll be like, yeah, go get a drink. Or I'll say, hey, you want to come around? You want to come around and hang out? You can come and see the stuff, or you can whatever. In the summer, hey, come around, man. I'll throw the barbecue on. We'll have a burger. And you can talk and you can catch up. It doesn't have to be a regular thing, but it's nice to reach out. And if you get one of those offers, take it. Say yes more. Say yes. What's the worst that's going to happen? What's the worst that's going to happen? If there's a group or club near you that you fancy going to, but for whatever reason you're thinking, I can't motivate myself to go to it, just go. Honestly, the hardest thing is putting your shoes on and leaving the house. That's the hardest part of this. Once it's done, you'll get there. Who knows? You might have a really good time. And if you don't, what have you lost? Nothing. One evening that you would have just sat in anyway. So this is why these things are important. And again, finding motivation when you're down is bloody hard. It really is. But you got to help yourself. I mean, I'm happy to help anyone I can, but at the same time, you got to meet people halfway when it comes to help. You got to think, okay, admitting there's a problem, hardest part of the problem, and then thinking, right, what can I do about this? And they don't have to be comparative problems, because we get that. We'll have someone say, well, yeah, but I'm not suicidal. We don't have to be. You don't have to be depressed. That's not the be-all and end-all of it. Well, I'm depressed, but I don't need medication. Great. That doesn't mean you're not depressed. That doesn't mean you're not down. It doesn't mean people don't care. It's important. It's weird when we get older. When we get older, this is hard to do. As kids, it's simple. Because you've always got this army of mates. You just do. When you're a kid, you've got 20, 30 mates and you go hang out with any of them and you're constantly getting invited to things. Then as you get older, you start to realise who the real friends are, and that list tends to deplete. And you end up with maybe 2, 3, 4, if you're lucky, very close friends that you can hang out with whenever you want. Some people don't have that. Some people don't have 2, 3 or 4. Some people don't have 2. Some people don't have 1. But how do you then make friends? Because it's weird. As a bloke at our age to suddenly make friends, it's really weird. Well, if you know someone like me, it's quite easy because I'll go, yeah, I'll hang out. I'm up for it. But not everyone's like me. But you'd be surprised. I swear to God, you'd be surprised. If you connect with an old friend or a buddy at work or something, you say, I wanted to go see, the new movie, but I don't really want my own. You don't want to see it? You know what I mean? Don't worry. They're not going to think you're coming on to them. You can do that. And you can be like, if you've got somebody who thinks like-minded, have a chat with them, see if you can arrange a pint after work or something. I'm watching the football on Monday night. Do you fancy it? Yes, I do. Bam, there you go. You know what I mean? It's that simple. It really is. And friendship's good, man. Friendship's good. You can never have enough friends. It's not easy to make them. It's hard to trust people. It's hard to let people in. It's even harder, as I said, as grown men. You can't walk up to them and say, will you be my friend? It's weird, isn't it? But there are plenty of groups you can go to and you'll meet people there. There's clubs, there's hobbies that you can do. And that's the best way to do this. It really is. And it's one step at a time. It's day by day. This is, if you get down, if you get stressed, if you get depressed, it can be months, it can be years until you get this fixed. But not if you attempt to fix it. If you attempt to fix it, you'd be surprised how quickly you start to feel better. And that's important because I don't want to lose any of you. I don't. I speak to a lot of you on here, and I'd be devastated if one of you wasn't here anymore. I really would. So please reach out. If you ever need to talk, reach out to me, reach out to anybody. Because I'd rather you be here, man. I really would. As I said, there's a lot of contact numbers down below for different places you can contact and things you can do. But I invite all of you on this International Men's Day to kind of reflect. And if there's been a buddy you haven't seen in a long time, give them a call. Give them a call. And raise awareness to people. Anytime you can say to somebody, are you aware that it's International Men's Health Month? Let them know. Spread the word. Let's get it out there because, we ain't got a flag. we tend to have no one's even mentioning it, which is it's bad. It's really bad. But we need to, as a band of brothers, we need to band together. We do, and we need to start pulling these guys back in off the ledge. We really do, because any one lost is one too many, and it's not. I don't want to live in that world, man. I don't. It's a world that's too cold, and it's why I say at the end of my videos, in a world where you can be anything, just be nice. I mean it. It's, as I've said, it's easy to be a dick. It's quite hard to be nice to someone, but just try and be nice, man, because you don't know what that person you're talking to is going through. You've no idea. So, when road rage gets you, you want to scream at somebody or you want to call someone, you don't know what they're going through, man. You don't. So just try and be nice. It's tough. It's really tough. But do me a favour. Tomorrow, try and make someone smile. Make that your goal for tomorrow. I'm going to make one person smile today. And if you can do that, it's an extra smile in the world, isn't it, And we'll all get a little happier and we'll be a little brighter place. That's all from me. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. And if you want to contact me, you can at buildingtheboys@outlook.com, and I swear I'll get back to you. I am a busy man at the moment, but I swear I will get back to you. All of the contact details for all of the talking therapists are in the list down below. And again, big thank you to Tea Time Builds for providing that. It's very much appreciated. And thank you for reaching out to me. I have a message coming your way very soon. But again, please share any details or anything you did on Men's Day. It would be very much appreciated. The last year's winner of Men's Day also sent me a very nice email this week. Made a knife, went to a knife making class and made the gnarliest knife you've ever seen on a railroad spike. It was tremendous. Like, that's the winner of Men's Day right there. But enjoy, have fun, and remember, this is our month, all right? Because next month is very much Kids Month. So this month is our month. Enjoy it. And as I said once more with feeling, and I do mean it, in a world where you can be anything at all, please just be nice. And I will see you very soon for more from Building the Boys. Take care and I'll see you soon.